After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Peters able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56! Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Johnson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. From the gun, it's Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Redskins making their way out. Last year, a fairly quiet 7-9. Now, the big change, of course, for 2018 here, exit Kirk Cousins, enter Alex Smith at quarterback. What does that change?
The change is that you have a quarterback who takes care of the football in a big way, but still can deliver it downfield. Alex Smith has such a reputation for being careful that it's overblown. He will take the shot downfield. If receivers shake free, get open, he'll deliver it. The other part of that, they get an offensive line. If they can get health there and have consistency up front, that offense can move, and that's what they're going to need to do if they want to compete in the NFC East.
Here we go!
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Brissett. got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. A huge play there for Washington. 51 yards. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back, and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. On 3rd down, Brissett. Flush to his right. Caught right side, Davis. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff. And they've got it here with a 1st down. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. The tackle there by Fabian Moreau.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Right back to him on 1st down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. He finds his target. It's Crowder. First catch for the Redskins, leader in the receiving yardage category a year ago. Good for a 1st down. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. More from the desert after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half to carry that with them. It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mode.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. Dawson tacks on the point after, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Here's Johnson on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together 2 or 3?
Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Green 39! Green 39!
A first down carry here for Johnson. Down to about the 22 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They pitch it out to Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun! 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 Gun!
On the toss, here's Johnson. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Brissett. He's going to air one out. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. After the interception, here's Rosen. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Play action here with Rosen. Trying to lay one up deep. There's the first NFL catch for the former Aggie Christian Kirk. A cool moment, the inaugural touchdown of the NFL career of Christian Kirk. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
I don't care how calm, cool, collected you carry yourself. I don't care how contained you are in your emotions. Your first touchdown pass in the NFL is awfully special. And Josh Rosen is always going to put out the vibe that, hey, I do this all the time. But inside, he's got to be so excited to have that first taste of success in the league.
Now Dawson for the extra point. Dawson able to connect on the extra point. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And they start the second half with Johnson. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Again, it's Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Cardinals on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Check! 3-19! 3-19!
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Crowder now to return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, Stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
Second down, Brissett. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now Brissett. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. To the right side, and he's got Macklin. Complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
Now Rosen on 1st down. Caught by Nelson left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Leopard. Leopard. Detroit. Detroit.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he's got the hook up to Macklin. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. And here. Come the Redskins now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And for Darius Geis, this is his first NFL carry. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now it's Smith. On the crossing route, complete. That's Richardson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, Smith. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Chandler Jones in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Crowder's got it over the middle. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st and 10, Smith. And Davis went it left side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Golden. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Preston Smith in there to sack him for a loss of 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
3rd and long here for Rosen. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And Dawson's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Able to shake him off. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
On third down, Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's gone through this stadium? He picked up that first down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Dayon Buchanan in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And he's going to go down again. Chandler Jones in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
He's passed it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Robert Kimdichie in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Arizona, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.